Yo, what's going on guys? In this video we're going to be taking a look at some of the reviews left by people on the Google Play Store and Apple App Store for NBA Live Mobile. Now currently on the Google Play Store it is rated 4.2 out of 5, and on the Apple App Store it's rated 4.6 out of 5. And it's going to be interesting to see what some of these reviews are saying, because I personally play the game. I have my own personal opinions about the game and how I would review it as of right now, looking at all the different stuff. I've been playing it for a while now, and obviously you guys, you comment on my videos, you tell me what's good, what's not good about the game at the moment. And also on Discord I am pretty active on there, so I get a sense of how the community or the wider community is feeling about the game as well. But there are loads of people who aren't on Discord who play the game. There are loads of people who aren't on YouTube who play the game, so it's going to be interesting to see what some people have to say about this. As you can see, currently on the Google Play Store there's over 2 million reviews that have been left on the game, so that's probably all the way since back in 2016 in season 1, all the way through from 2016 all the way up to now in 2021. So it's going to be interesting to see what some people have put. But let me know in the comments down below, if you were to rate this game out of 5 stars, what would you give it, and what would your review be of the game as of right now, as of when you're watching it? Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. So let's hop on in and read some of these reviews. We're going to start with the most relevant. As you can see, this guy is the first one on the list over here. So he says, this is the best free basketball game I have ever played, but there are some things that needs to be fixed. The time of the match is only 2 minutes, which is too short. It should be at least 5 minutes. There should also be some kind of championship celebration in the locker room or something, and have a ring ceremony. Most importantly is that if we win the finals, we do not even know who is the finals MVP of the game, and there should be stats about the player after the game. Hope you can fix this problem, thank you. So there's a lot of things in this that I kind of agree with. So at the moment it is one of the best free basketball games that probably I've played, especially because I mean the only one that matches this one or rivals it sort of on the Play Store or on the Apple App Store is NBA 2K. But for me on Android especially, it is really laggy. On Apple it's a different side of the story, it's not really as laggy. And obviously on Apple Arcade you've got the NBA 2K Mobile Apple Edition or Apple Arcade Edition. That's a different side of the story, but it is one of the best free basketball games that I've ever played, especially on mobile. But then as you can see, he goes on to saying that he wants different times of the matches. So when you go into the season mode, maybe we have like, you can choose which time, which yeah, that would make a pretty good idea. But I don't see myself, like especially me, going into a seasons game and wanting to play for 5 minutes. Like unless it was really good gameplay, then I wouldn't want to do that, because at the moment I don't see myself just sitting down and playing 5 minutes of seasons. I don't know about you guys. Then he goes on to say he wants like finals MVP of the game. I agree. I think we need some good stats as well. Like you can see a box score, but it is just a mobile game, so you can't really expect that from a mobile game. Seeing all of the stats of every single player, like their field goal percentage, all that stuff, it is a little bit hard to make that in a mobile game, and it is just a mobile game. If you look at the console games, of course they have that in there, but they're a console game. You can have so much more in a console game. Okay, so the next guy makes similar points over here, saying that he also wants longer quarters, and again, I don't really see that happening in the game. I think 2 minutes is pretty good, or 2.5 minutes is a decent time to have. I know loads of people want to have like 5-minute quarters. It would just mean that the game would just drag on a bit. If you're there for maybe playing like seasons mode, if you want to play that, like when you go on 2K and you play just play now, if that's something you really want in the game, then fair enough. That's something you could probably have, because I mean it is probably just a little change that EA would have to make if they wanted to make this happen. And also he goes on to say about the fouls, and of course free throws are extremely rare to get in the game. Like it's just really rare to happen in the game. Obviously I got 3 free throws. I just did a random video about that because I thought it was a pretty rare moment. He'd also love to see in the coming updates that at the end of every season's match there must be a stat recorded, again like the other guy said, with assists, points, rebounds. Again, it is just a mobile game, but I can see where you're coming from, and I can see that sort of stuff wanting to be in the game. And then also he's gone on to say finals MVP stuff, and that would be great. Okay, so now on to another guy who says that the game is awesome. I love the graphics and all. One issue I was wondering is maybe having a multiplayer mode on more platforms would be better, because Facebook is not all that comfortable. Software like Google Play Games would be okay, please. Also add some more soundtracks to make it more lively instead of the usual tunes they keep repeating. So with this one, I do get it, like Facebook logging in, all that stuff. It is a little bit whether you want to do it or not, you have to kind of decide. And it would be great if EA could maybe change that up where you don't have to use Facebook to be able to play your friends. I know FIFA Mobile, they changed it. So before it was, I think Facebook only, you could play your friends, but now they've changed it so you can say you play in like a player v player stuff like Showdown, for example. you can then afterwards just add the player that you played against as a friend, and you can search people up and add them as friends. They have to accept you as a friend before you can start playing them. But I think that would be a great idea to have if we could just play whoever, because I know Facebook, it is a little bit of a hassle. You have to try and make an account, log in to the game if you don't have one already, and it is a little bit of a hassle. But maybe they can do something like that, even if it is just in the game and you create your own little server where you can just like send friend requests to people. I think that would be pretty good. Okay, so at the moment we've had some pretty decent reviews so far. We've got some positives, some negatives, all that stuff, but now we're just going to go into the completely critical one. So the critical reviews over here. Okay, so this guy over here, he says, I'm writing this review because I'm currently raging while playing this game. For one, there are always so many bugs in the game. Shooting is really rigged to the point where I miss open layups, open mid-ranges and open threes, but apparently my opponent can make guarded threes, layups and mid-range. I would say a lot more, but I can't because there's a limit. EA, please stop making players miss wide open shots. Stop doing the same position colors like a strategic point guard and fix all the bugs. Now, gameplay, it is a massive issue, especially this season. Like, I've missed a ton of threes here and there when doing gameplay. Even just missing like open layups, I've missed a couple when I've been playing. And that's the thing, like AI, they can just hit half-court shot just randomly. They can just hit a half-court shot, which is just nuts. That's something we need, like consistency-wise, because some days it is good, like the gameplay is good, some days it's working, and the other days it's not. And it's just a real shame. Like, if they can fix the consistency with that gameplay, it would make for a great game, because then you know exactly what's going to happen when you log on to the game. You know exactly it's going to be consistent, because one day, like, you could be playing with Curry, you could be knocking down, I don't know, every single three-pointer you make, and then the next day you play with him, he's bricking wide open threes. It makes no sense, and that's what we need. We need some consistency with the gameplay. I do kind of agree with this. And then also he goes on to say, stop making like strategic point guards. I think we need a balance with positions. I know it's hard to juggle like every single play style. We got 3 of them and every single position, but it'd be good to see if we could have like just every single position have a certain card every now and then. And I know EA try and do their best to do that, because there is 5 positions, there's 3 play styles, so that's in total 15 types of players that we're trying to look for. But it would be good if EA could try and balance things up so you don't always get the same players. Like, I know it is unavoidable sometimes, like when we had the finals MVP, you can't really change Giannis from a power forward to a different position because that's his position in the real game. So it'd be a little bit hard to do that. But with some of the other promos at the moment, with each different playstyle, finesse, they need a small forward. Strategic, we need a shooting guard, and power, they don't really need any position, but they do need a better coach, because at the moment we've got a strategic Steve Nash, and then finesse, you got a Steve Kerr you can get for free. But then power, you don't really have that extra coach you can get for free that is as good as the other 2. Okay, so going through quite a lot of these, you do get similar stuff. Like, people are complaining with the AI just making every shot and you just missing every shot. So it's mostly about gameplay. But this guy over here says the game is the epitome of EA. It is so pay to win, and when you do pay, you get nothing out of it. The player sets that you combine are relatively decent, and players are absurd, as well as the gameplay itself. If you use a mechanic in the game that will progress you, the game doesn't allow it, almost like it doesn't want you to. The stats for players are quite unrealistic, and defensive coverage is impossible. You can walk right through players. Every 5 minutes the game loading times out. Now, there is a lot of other stuff about this one. So at the beginning he says it's all pay to win, and I disagree with this. Like, some of the promos we got, especially the Team of the Year promo, that is not pay to win at all. You can get Luka Doncic for free. You can get a bunch of 97 overall masters for free. I agree with like the side promos, you can call them pay to win, because they are pretty much pay to win, except for like Lightning versus Thunder. But all that stuff is pay to win, I agree. But the main promos we've had, I've managed to get quite a few masters, and quite a lot of people have. If you're no money spent, you've got quite a few masters. Like Totti promo we've had all the way through, all the playoffs promos, we've got most of the masters out of that one. So most of the promos I think aren't pay to win, except for the side promos. Like, those I can agree with are pay to win. Like, we've had the Streets of the World promo, the awards promo, the splash promo, all that stuff. It is all pay to win, but the main promos we've got so far, they have been pretty good at balancing out pay to win and no money spent. And no money spent people have got quite a lot. Now, I also agree with, like, you can walk through players. I've done that loads of times, even when going up for a layup, and lots of people, you've probably seen that when you're playing the game. That does happen, I agree with that. And that's been a problem ever since like season 5 actually started, and especially with some of the players as well. Like, some of their jerseys don't fit on properly, all that stuff. Hopefully EA can fix that one. But now let's go on and look at some of the positive reviews that we have on the game. Okay, so this guy over here said, very great game, spending most of my non-busy time playing this game. Good graphics, nice controls, and easy to play, but just that the new updates seem a little bit annoying due to the fact that when the stamina is low, you can't play anymore, and you need to buy via your NBA cash. But it's still nice. If I encounter any problem in the near future, I might reconsider my 4 stars. Even though he gave it 5 stars, he still said he would reconsider my 4 stars. Don't know what's up about that. But anyway, I agree with quite a lot of this. Like, it is a great game to play, like especially back in season 1. I just remember coming home, just playing like NBA Live Mobile. That's the thing you want to do. And even now, like it's lost that a little bit, but I still try and play as much as I can, and I do like playing it because it is a great way to just spend some time maybe playing through it, getting some packs, enjoying yourself, having fun. The graphics, they're decent for a mobile game, I have to say. Nice controls, and it is easy to play. Like especially when you're starting off brand new, you may get overwhelmed with all the stuff that's there, but the tutorials, they do help you. Like if you're imagining you're starting brand new, you go through the tutorials, they do help you quite a lot, just starting off the game brand new. And then he goes on to saying if stamina's low, you can't play anymore. You kind of have to have that, otherwise people could just grind unlimitedly and there would be no point in having stamina and all that stuff. But there is loads of ways you can get stamina, and if you want to know how to, I did a video on it, so make sure you go check that out. Okay, so this guy over here gave a really positive review. He said, I give this game a 5 because it allows you to build a team that you want. You can become the greatest team in the league and prove it to people online or just in seasons. Something I hope EA could do for the game is make my player. That way you can upgrade them and be a legend. But this is a great game. Hope you think of my ideas. So this I agree with. Like it is nice that you can build the team you want. Obviously there's issues, like in season 1 you had 5 different lineups, which helped because then loads of people would have different teams. Now like lots of people have similar teams, which is a little bit of a downside, but I do agree it allows you to build the team that you want. You can become the greatest team in your league. I think that's what leagues are there for. You're trying to get higher overall teams than people in your league, like your mates maybe you've got a mates league, or maybe you're just in a league with random people. You get to play online. I agree, like Showdown is good, or just in seasons. Like there's loads of different people, they do different things. Like some people grind out promos, some people grind out Showdown, some people grind out arenas, some people just grind out seasons. And that's the great thing. You've got loads of options as stuff you need to do. I do agree my player would be pretty nice, but I don't know how capable a mobile game would be. I know we've had that in 2K Mobile Apple Arcade Edition, but that's only on that Apple App Store and with that Arcade Edition version of the game. So it's up to EA whether they decide to make that, but it would be a lot to add into a mobile game. I've just realized how long I've been recording for. I've been recording for a while now, so I thought I'll end the video now. Let me know in the comments down below how you would review the game and whether you guys want to see a part 2 of this one where I look at some more reviews, maybe even on the Apple App Store. I'll try and find a way to look at the reviews on that, but let me know all of that in the comment section down below. Leave a like on the video if you did enjoy the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.